The next topic is a quick tour of HTML. Why a quick tour? HTML5 contains many structural and presentation elements, too many to completely cover in this presentation. Rather than comprehensively cover all these elements, this presentation will provide a quick overview of the most common elements. So why they are making a quick tour of HTML elements is that a web page will have many n number of elements. Okay, so those elements will have their specific tasks to do, and it is very much to complete all those elements. So what they are saying is we'll just have an overview of only the most common elements that are being used. So here they have given an example. Okay, the example is here and its output is given in this section. Okay, so sample document they have given, and in this sample document they have explained some of the elements. Okay, so we'll start it one by one. First we have is the body element, and inside this body element this entire part itself is enclosed within the body element. The first element under body section is the h1 element. H1 is used for heading here, and what is the heading that they have put is share your travels. So you can see that this is the main heading here, share your travels, and it has come into a larger font. Then the second heading which is there, H2. In the second heading you have written is New York Central Park. So this H2 which is there, New York Central Park, it will appear a bit smaller than H1. Then later you have is the paragraph P, and in the paragraph P the first line is photo by Randy Connolly, and that paragraph you can see here in the output, a very small paragraph, that is photo by Randy Connolly, whose font size will be less compared to H1 and H2. Okay, and next here they have written there is one more paragraph here from here to here. Okay, so that paragraph which is there, it is appearing, its output is here below. Just increase the sensor. Okay, so what they have given here is this photo of conservatory pond in. Okay, and in this paragraph there is a tag. Okay, so a tag, as we know, it is an anchor tag, and this a tag will help us to go to another link, and that link is of a central park, that is www.centralpark.com. And for going to that link you have a label here, that is label is here Central Park. This label will appear on your web page, not this link. If you want to go to this link you have to press on this label. Now how to recognize this label as a hyperlink is that under below it there will be a line. So you'll immediately come to know that it is a hyperlink, and by clicking on it we can move to a different page. Okay, so we can see here here at the side the output is there. Okay, so the output here is this photo of conservatory pond in, that is appearing here, this photo of conservatory pond in, and you can see here in the output Central Park is a hyperlink. Okay, and when you click on the Central Park it will immediately go to this. Okay, you can see here when I clicked on this it went to www.centralpark.com. Okay, as I clicked on the link it goes to the web page, that is on the to the web page of the Central Park. And after that what is written is Central Park, New York City, was taken on October 22 2011 with a strong element. Strong element here will make this text to appear in bold character. Okay, and after that the camera will appear in normal text. As here you can see in the output, New York City was taken on October 22 to 2011 with the Canon EOS 30D camera. Okay, so only this camera's name which is there, that is appearing in bold. Okay, so this is the making use of this paragraph, and inside this paragraph there are a nesting of elements, and the elements nested under this paragraph is the a element and the strong element. After this paragraph we can see that you'll get an image here. image element is also being used. Image element, they have specified the source attribute, and for the source attribute they have specified the value here, that is in the system where they have stored that image. And if that image does not get executed, then you have to use the alt attribute, which will display the name as Central Park. So this image element which will there, it will display this image of Central Park. Okay, so that image file should be there in your system, then only it will get uploaded. Then the next which is there, they have made use of one more heading, and that heading is review, by using which element here, h3 element, that you can see here in the output reviews. Okay, next they are making use of another element known as div. It is used for division. This division element which is there, it is used for logically dividing a section. Okay, like a break and all will be not there, just logically it will divide that section from the other section. That means this section will be separated from this section. Okay, so this div element, inside this div element we have the p element, and in this p element they have written by Ricardo on, and for September 15 comma 2012 uh, they have used the time element. Okay, so when time element is there, so this will appear when you press on this will look like a time, to just mention that it is under time element. Okay, that it is not a normal text. Okay, and then you have here another paragraph, easy on the HDR buddy. So this what is there, it is a review from the people who have visited Central Park. So whenever you're visiting some place, if you want to visit some place, so in the website you check about that particular place. So below that page you'll find some people who have already visited that place, they have given their review, whether it's good or not, or whether that place is better, how best it is. That reviews here they have mentioned here. Here the reviews are about the Central Park, and this review is by Ricardo, and they have mentioned when he gave his review, on which date and year. Next div element is used again. In that there is one more review by Suzanne, and she has there is a time here, she had visited or she has given her review on October 1 2012, and the message she has printed is I love Central Park. So that also comes here. Okay, that also is appearing. Next what is there, here the p element is there, again paragraph, and here they are making use of another element, small. So anything from here to this element will appear in small characters, as you can see in the output at the last. So this copyright, this will appear in small characters, copyright ampersand copy semicolon. This entity which is there, this will help for a small icon to appear, that is a copyright symbol which we have. That means the character C which is enclosed within a circle. If you want that symbol or that icon to appear, you have to make use of this entity, and this entity belongs with ampersand copy semicolon. For example, if you want a rupee symbol or if you want a dollar symbol, so such entities are there which will appear those symbols in our web page. So this ampersand copy which is there, due to this, here you can see in the output copyright symbol is appearing. Okay, and semicolon is part of its syntax. Then 2012 share your travels. So this will appear at the footer of the web page. Okay, at the footer of the web page it will appear. So what we'll do, we will try to execute this program from here to here. We'll copy this, you go to a notepad. Okay, we'll paste here. Okay, so the program has been pasted here. I do not have the image of the park. Let's see if I have some image. Okay, my image is there. So what I'll do, I'll just take my image and I'll take the location of this image, copy it, go to my program, and in place of their image, I'll put my image location. It is in C drive, in users folder, students folder, desktop. As well, I have to give the name of the image. The name of the image is just pic.jpg. Okay, it is a jpg file. Then what we will do is we will save this file. Save it as 2.html. Save. We'll go to the folder, double click. Okay, so you can see here the headings is appearing here, photo by, and this photo of conservatory pond in Central Park photo is not there, it's my photo. Okay, so here you can see the Central Park which is there, it is has appeared as a link. So when I open this link, it will take me to their website. Okay, welcome to centralpark.com. So they have that, and here the time is there, and this only is bold. Here you have the image, here you have the heading, and here you have the paragraphs. So with this you can see that this document has been executed with that particular output. Okay, so now we'll discuss this every part of those elements of that particular document. Okay, so here also you can see 1 2 3 4, these numbers which they have given, they have explained all those elements. So the first element, one, which is there, it is going to discuss about the headings. So let us see what they have told about headings. Is there headings h1, h2, h3, and etc. So HTML provides 6 levels of heading. It provides 6 levels of heading from h1 to h6, with the higher heading number indicating a heading of less importance. Okay, so with the higher heading number indicating a heading of less importance. Headings are less importance, no, higher number will have more importance. Okay, here they have given it reverse. Higher number will be given the more importance, h6 will be given the lesser importance. Headings are an essential way for document authors used to show their readers the structure of the document. So heading, here you can see some examples. One is there, two, three, four, like this headings you can give. Okay, so this all they have given here in the example. So how you can make use of headings here. The browser has its own default styling for each heading level. So here you can see the same heading which we had used, it uses different styles. Okay, so different styles you can use for heading here. Here simple heading, here italic is there. Here it is having a background table, and here you can see it is with some other visualization. However, these are easily modified and customized via CSS. So if you want to style your headings properly with color, font and all, that time that presentation part which is there, that is very good left to CSS. Next, in practice, specify a heading level that is semantically accurate. Okay, do not choose a heading level because of its default presentation. Example, choosing h3 because you want your text to be bold and 16 point. Okay, so don't use headings because of their appearance, that you want it to bold and it has to be of the specific size. Use the heading based on the priority that you want. If you are making use of h3 means it will be at the third level of the headings. Okay, so based on the priority of your document text, in that way you'll make use of the headings, not in the way how it appears. For example, rather choose the heading level because it is appropriate. Example, choosing h3 because it is a third level heading and not a primary or secondary heading. Once they have explained about the heading, next they have is about the paragraphs. That is making use of which element here? P element. Paragraphs are the most basic unit of text in an HTML document. So whenever you want some text, n number of text to be printed, we make use of the P element. Notice that the P tag is a Okay, notice that the P tag is a container and can contain HTML and other inline HTML elements. So p tag which is there, it acts like a container. In that container you can embed many number of HTML elements. Okay, and that HTML elements we are calling it as inline HTML elements. So what is this inline HTML elements, we will see. Okay, inline HTML elements refer to HTML elements that do not cause a paragraph break but are part of the regular flow of the text. Okay, so these inline HTML elements, what are they? They are just enhancing that paragraph. Only extra things they are adding to that paragraph. You're not allowed to come out of it, will not change the flow of that code. That means you can make use of title, or you can make use of the strong element. Okay, time element. So those time element, strong element, they are just in the flow of that paragraph. It is not making you to come out of that paragraph. So those elements which are there, those elements are known as inline HTML elements. For example, inline HTML elements in this above codes, you have is the a element also is inline element, and strong element is there. Then you have the time element. Okay, these small element, these elements which are there, they are the one which will not change the code into, or you're not started with a new thing there. It is just in the same flow. Okay, so those elements are known as what? Inline HTML elements. We are done with this. Then next what we have to discuss is the division. Okay, the division element indicated by div. This div tag is also a container element and is used to create a logical grouping of content. The div element has no intrinsic presentation. That means a separate presentation is not there, so that you can highlight that this only is a division. It is just a logical grouping of that content. That means this content belongs to this particular part, this content belongs to the next part. As we had seen in the previous examples, the reviews which were there of those people who visited the Central Park, those reviews were put into separate division. That means it belongs to this particular group. It is frequently used in contemporary CSS based layouts to mark out sections. So the div element which is there, it is most used in the CSS code. Using div elements, HTML5 has a variety of new semantic elements which we will examine later, that can be used to reduce somewhat the confusing mass of div within divs within divs that is so typically of contemporary web design. So you can see there, whenever a person is designing a website, he makes use of many div elements which are too clumsy. Okay, you can see in this code. Okay, so here they have made use of many div elements. These div elements which are there, these are all used for styling the HTML elements. Okay, for styling the HTML elements. Here previously they have told that a div element is most probably used in a CSS code. So this can be reduced by making use of some other HTML elements, and they have told that we can discuss them later, or which we will examine later. So the div elements, if they are less in number, will be more easier to focus than making use of in HTML. They are most used in CSS.